Join me. Together we can rule the galaxy far from sun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Hello there, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rebel Princesses. This is Todd Hoffman and Trent Hoffman, and you're listening to Big T and Little T, a Star Wars podcast. Welcome to episode 177. Today, we're going to be looking at the mothers of Star Wars. Unfortunately, my little buddy, Little T, couldn't join me today due to some scheduling things, but he is here in Jedi Force Spirit. So, again, we're just loving little myths and mortals. Season's been a little weird, but we've been having fun. A lot of Star Wars stuff the last couple weeks, which is great with the May the 4th that happened last week. So playing through that, and we're definitely going to, we've been a little bit laxing on the Twitch, but we'll be get back there soon. So definitely catch us out on twitch.tv/Big T, Little T. Summer's coming, summer's almost here, so gonna have a little bit more time to schedule things out, and that's gonna be great. But yeah, we're having fun playing that and doing that. Hope everyone had a great Mother's Day, and I thought it would be really cool. Shout out to my mom and Jen, who's the mom of our two wonderful children. Well, really three wonderful children we have. So we have Jordan, Trent, and Ellie, and Jordan is just he's a man. I almost don't count him as a kid, but he is a kid. But yeah, so we had a lot of fun, a lot of great family time this weekend, and I thought it would be a really good segue into just looking at the mothers of Star Wars. And talking through that a little bit. So let's just jump right into our main topic. All right, so I'm kind of working backwards as we do here in Star Wars. It's always good to work backwards, but really kind of looking at first just what we see on the screen and what we see from a film perspective. And we don't have a lot of choices here, but essentially, we have Princess Leia. And so really with Princess Leia, they have a child, Ben, but he's an adult child by the time we get into Force Awakens. And really what's going on here is that we have no screen time with each other on that. There is the in Last Jedi, there's a little bit where we see them kind of communicate in the Force, but there's not too much. There's a little bit, obviously, in The Force Awakens. You have the estrangement of Han and Leia, and that they had this relationship, obviously, together, and then subsequently with Ben, and you have to figure that, and then again, all this is contextual, because you would have to read the books or find out a little bit more. In the movie, it's just Han and Leia split. There was something, obviously, that went wrong with Ben with his decision to kind of go to the dark side, and that caused a rift in their marriage. But there's nothing, we don't get to see a motherly aspect of Princess Leia with her son. I think definitely Princess Leia shows motherly qualities in the films, and I'm sure she's a great mom, but obviously, with any children, they have to make their own decisions, and that's what we get with Ben and Princess Leia. And then obviously, again, also conjecture and contextualize is that Leia in the Force in The Rise of Skywalker projecting Han, it's kind of hard to say, was that Ben seeing Leia in the Force? Was that just, it's a little hard. It's a great scene to see, but again, it's not Leia, it's Han that is connecting with his son to try to turn him back to the good side. So that's Princess Leia. So really, besides the technically Last Jedi, where we get a little in between, but unfortunately, nothing on screen for Ben and Princess Leia. And again, nitpicking here, but it would have been nice to see them connected in the Force at the end. Didn't have to be just Luke and Leia in the sands of Tatooine. I mean, it was a mess. The whole Jedi Force stuff was a total mess in The Rise of Skywalker, but I digress. Okay, so the next one is Padme. So Padme, you have essentially the mother of Luke and Leia, and we get to see her as a mother, as being pregnant in, obviously, the Revenge of the Sith, and she definitely has those motherly things, and she's glowing, like as a expecting mother and all that fun stuff, and it's great. It's great, but then again, we don't get to see her be a mother, and it's really hard. I would have to see if I can't remember if obviously in the funeral scene at the end of Revenge of the Sith, we see her with her being pregnant. So I don't know if they told I think it's Nayberries or Nanda Berries, or that's Padme's maiden name. I don't know if they told the parents or not. Like, hey, she had kids, or that secret is with the Jedi only and Bail, essentially. And, Yoda, Bail, and kind of Obi-Wan make that agreement to split the kids up, hide them from the Empire. I'm thinking that they don't know that they actually have grandchildren out there, the Nayberries or whatever. I mean, again, you see more of the family in the deleted scenes. You have to see the family of Padme in the deleted scenes of Attack of the Clones. Again, but on film, you only see them at that funeral scene. So it's another thing. It's a little quirky, just again, screen time, all that fun stuff. You just don't get to see that as much as you would want. So that's Padme. So again, you just don't get to see enough of Padme as mom. So really, our best on-screen portrayal of a mother is Shimi Skywalker. So Shimi is featured in The Phantom Menace as well as Attack of the Clones. She is as good as a mom as you can get on film. Obviously, she's born into, or she is a slave. Her and her son are slaves, but they still have some independence. They have a home. They get to hang out, but again, they are not free independently. And so they have a small home, and you could tell that she loves Anakin, and Anakin loves her. There is a great relationship there, and how she describes her son to Qui-Gon, he gives without any sense of reward. It's just, it's her she's special to him, and he is special to her. It's all right there, and I think it's so. It's actually a very emotional scene. I love that scene when he leaves her, be brave, don't look back. It tears her up because she knows she's probably never going to see him again. He, again, you can, little conjecture here, but you can kind of see that he already has visions in the Force, and he says at one point, I had a dream that I would free the slaves, and free. It's interesting that he has these kind of visions of that. But really, this relationship is awesome. You get to see it play out. Again, with everything else going on, this is something of just subtext in the greater scheme of things. But Yoda even kind of used it against against him when they review him in the council, where he misses his mom. Bottom line, he's a 6-year-old kid or a 7-year-old kid. Misses his mom. So, and I guess you can see again from a Jedi perspective, those attachments can prove too much. And a mother-child bond is very strong, and obviously that plays a huge factor in Anakin's decision and what he's doing. And like again, like when we get to see Shimi again in Attack of Clones, she's not in good shape. It looks like she's been somewhat of a prisoner, tortured maybe, but definitely just not treated right from a Tusken Raiders. And Anakin just wipes out the whole camp, and it's like, this is probably a pretty good sign from Padme, like, yo, you gotta step back here. But yeah, I think again on screen, Shimi is the best portrayal of a mom, and a really great emotional scene when Anakin leaves Tatooine. Just love that, love that. And the tragedy of an Attack of Clones, she's going to say, "I love you, Anakin," but never gets to say it, and she dies. It's like, oof, gut punch. All right, so the other one that, again, that's really from a movie perspective. The other good mother that is portrayed on Clone War, well, it's mostly on Rebels, is Hera Syndulla. And now obviously we got Rebels and we got Ahsoka, that we get to see Hera as well. And so she's the mother to Jason, and so that's a really Kanan Jarrus and her Hera have the son of Jason. And so, which is interesting about Hera, is she's kind of like the space mom for the crew, for the Ghost crew, but then she becomes a mother with Kanan, and then we get to see that play out a little bit at the end of Rebels with Jason. Again, it's very short, but we get to see that play out a little bit, and then we get to see it more in Ahsoka. So we get really two versions of Jason in a sense, but Hera, I guess two versions of Hera as well. But we get to see that play out, and she is a single mom. Again, really Shimi, single mom, and Hera, single mom in this situation. So again, not a really good portrayal of a nuclear family, but we still get to see them play out, which is awesome. But then we got a couple honorable mentions. So really, that's it from a screen perspective. We get some other stuff, really from, we got Nora Wexley, who's from Star Wars Aftermath series, and she is the mother of Snap. And again, total another miss. Wedge actually marries Nora, and that could have played out in Rise of Skywalker. It didn't, but Snap Wexley, who is featured heavily throughout the sequel trilogy, is the son of Nora, but we don't get to see Nora on screen. So if you really want to check out that relationship, it's really good. Check out the Aftermath books from Chuck Wendig, I think is his name. Iden Versio. So we get a video game character in Star Wars Battlefront 2. This plays pretty heavily as well. And her daughter reaches out to Princess Leia. But again, another miss, that she could have been a pretty prominent character in the sequel trilogy. But in the video game, yeah. I think that part is in a DLC. But yeah, Iden basically switches from the Empire to the Rebellion and a Resistance at that point. And yeah, she's, again, get she's more of an adult child at that point in the DLC, but there is some good relationship building in those DLCs and those cutscenes. We have Sabine Wren's mom, Ursa Wren, Clone Wars Rebels. Now, again, her portrayal of motherhood is a little stern, a little strict, not very a loving and caring affection thing, but there's definitely strong family ties, but it's definitely more of a disciplinary action, And then we got Vanessa, again, Star Wars names, I'm not sure. Vanessa, I guess, would be Doza from Resistance. So we find out that Captain Doza on the Colossus married, a resistance, and they've been separated for a long time. And so we get to see it definitely more of a father-daughter relationship on screen, but we get to see Doza for a little bit. They meet up every once in a while in secret. It's kind of a thing, but there is a family dynamic there, but not too much on-screen mom stuff, So I think, again, both from a mother and father perspective, we have a lot of brokenness and not a true nuclear family in the sense. But I think also a big thing in Star Wars is not sometimes the family you have, the bloodline, but it's the family you make. And that's a big theme in Star Wars. And I think that holds true even in this situation where people might not be quote unquote biological mothers, but they are mothers to the people that they interact with. And I think that's a very, female and a very great quality in females to have that motherly instincts and take care and nurture and try to provide for the group. And I think a lot of women in Star Wars do that. Even though they're not a, biological mother in sense, but yeah, really, really, interesting that when I started looking at this, I'm like, really, it's Shimi, and Hera that are really our true space moms in the Star Wars universe. But there's a lot there. I mean, again, it's more ancillary. You have to either look at the cartoons, which some people are not, that's not their thing. And then again, either video games or books where we have to kind of look into that more. So there you have it. Just a short little, there's not, like I said, there's not too much out there to really to sink your teeth in, But so for Light It All Up, what are the best qualities to have in a mother? And what do you like about your mom? So drop us a line. Email us at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com, and we can definitely love to read that in an upcoming episode. There you have it. Okay, Space Wizards, Plastic Spacemen, and Rubber Princesses, thanks again for listening to another official episode of Big T, Little T, Star Wars podcast. Episode 177 is in the bag. So you can find us on the socials. Big T, Little T podcast on Instagram, BLILT podcast on Twitter, and then follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/Big T Little T. Hey man, we got new stickers. We got some stickers. We got some new business cards. So comment, tweet, rate us on Apple Podcasts. Give us a 5-star review on Spotify. Also, if you're into good pods, give us some ratings there. We're making some headway there, so love to get some ratings out there as well. But email us at Big T Little T podcast. Take a screenshot or send us what you sent in, and we'd love to read that on our next episode. Or drop us a question, man. Give us a question. We love to take listener questions. So drop us a question at bigtlittlepodcast@gmail.com, and we can definitely send you some swag your way if we read your question on an upcoming episode. Next time, I think we're going to be doing some Star Wars, maybe. We got Acolyte coming out, and we want to do a big recap of Bad Batch. And got some other things planned coming up here. So looking forward to that. And so, yeah, it's going to be fun. We got a little break from Bad Batch, and then we're going to jump right into the Acolyte. And, Trent and I, we're slacking here. We haven't seen Tales of the Empire yet, so prepare for that as well. So now remember, truly wonderful the mind of a child is, and may the Force be with you always. Bye, 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 bye.
Dad, look at the droid selling queso.
It's not polite to talk about others like that.
It's okay, kids. What are the chances he's gonna hear us?
It's high. It's very high. Don't worry. You can make up for your embarrassment by procuring some of my queso. It has flavor.
Only K2's Mucho Queso is made from a blend of Bantha and Thala siren milks.
Here, ingest this.
Ew, it stinks.
I could say the same for you.
What?
This is so good.
Congratulations. Your taste buds are being rescued.
Daddy, let's buy it.
Your behavior, young lady, is continually unexpected.
Rebels will love the home-style meltiness of K2's Mucho Queso. The Empire? Well, Marva said it best.
Let's get going, kids.
Try K2's Mucho Queso. You'll love it. Cassian said you had to.
And it thrills me every time to say his name. Stand up wherever you are. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Sting!
What the hell's going on?
Look! It's Sting! Damn! What the hell? What an entrance!
Hey, look at me! I'll hit you right now! Strong arm tactics!
It's Sting! My God! Here he comes!
It can't be.
It's Sting! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Darby Allin and Sting! Wait! Oh my God! It's Sting! He's back from injury! He's back! And I think it's going to be maybe a bad ending for the Gun Club. It's Sting!
The hairs are standing up on the back of my neck, boys.
It's Sting!
Oh boy, the plot thickens.
Oh my God! Look at Jericho turn! Look at the snow! It's Sting! I love it! Listen to the ovation for Sting!